The amount of technical issues I had this morning, forget about it. Look, I usually only have 2 cups of coffee. I'm on cup number 4 right here. But you know what? We grinded through, we worked through. I don't know what was going on. My camera, it picked me up in OBS, but that was about it. I went, I recorded, I looked, and I was just like this. It wasn't even a flattering shot of me. It was just like mouth open, side view. It was just awful. But here we are, and we're going to get through this because there's no stopping Rip. Look, if you're not over on the new channel yet, Rip Talks Money. This is life after crypto. Everything you need to know. We're talking retirement, financial freedom, investment. You name it, we talk about it over there. Now, fun fact, we were doing 1 video a week every Monday, but you know what? I just got too much to talk about, too much to cover, and just 1 video for me is just not enough. Monday, Thursday, now your new release schedule. Pay attention, get over there, lock in, subscribe. We're going to get everyone all set up and planned here. I'm telling you right now. Now, this video is going to be a banger, and we're kicking it off with the banging news right here. Oh, the image looks great on your screen. Stick with me through this. I know it's not the most exciting part of the video, but you know what? I make it exciting. Because I'm filled with energy and I'm all jacked up on caffeine. That's right. The New York Fed, they just announced they're going to be buying nearly $10 billion in treasury bills. That's right. Not someday, next week, folks. Next week. Look at it. You see it on your screen. You see all the dates lined up here. You got the operations running June 16th, June 24th, July 1st, July 7th, July 9th. Just bill purchase after bill purchase. And we still got 2 more lined up. You love to see it. You love to see it. And your settlement dates on this, they are 1 day later each time. Love it. We're talking 6.6 billion, 3.3 billion, 6.6 billion again, spread across short term. Published schedule right there. What are you going to say? It's not true? Of course it's true. This is the beautiful thing. But the question is, I always get people like, yo, Rip, you covered this, but what the hell does it mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that the Fed is pumping liquidity into the short end of the treasury markets. They're buying, which means dollars, dollar bill, y'all. Who remembers that song? Dollars are moving, which means the system needs somewhere to absorb all of it now, don't they? But you know what? This is where it gets interesting. And I mean interesting, not YouTube interesting, because every time the Fed does something like this, every time real money sloshes around at this scale, the argument for hard assets, it just gets a little bit louder. Not because of hype, but because of math. And that feeds us directly into the next thing. My man Bill, that's right, on CNBC.
So the CBO this year is projecting $1.9 trillion in a deficit. So let's look at that from a different angle. The marginal obligations being created that are unfunded by our country is 50% bigger than the entire market cap of Bitcoin. So yeah, you have to think, is this the best way of accounting for capital when we can just come up with new obligations year in and year out? The debt cycle gets worse and worse. I think there are better ways to account for capital that are based on consensus, energy, and transparency. So we're still very optimistic about the technology over the long term.
I know, but I didn't hear you say anything about the use case of it. I mean, what if there was never really a credible fundamental story to begin with?
Well, then it might not exist, right? So Bitcoin came into existence in the heels of the 2008, 2009 financial crisis when everyone saw all of the money printing coming down the pike. And that's what happened. So the fundamental use case is stronger, and you have to look at the underlying sets of dynamics out there around you when you make market calls. And so, you know, the fundamentals are still incredibly strong.
What if the biggest problem here is it's simple and that there's just a lot of money going into other more durable, fast-growing areas of the market around the AI trade, and Bitcoin just can't compete with that?
Well, I think AI very, very long-term is incredibly deflationary. And to make up for that, you're going to have to come up with a whole bunch more dollars to fill in for all the debts that are out there. So one of the ways out of the debt spiral is inflation. And Bitcoin is a hedge against that over the long term. So I think overall, that's a very good thing over the long term for Bitcoin.
I mean, come on now. This man just made the case on TV, on CNBC, in front of everyone. He said your debt obligations this country is creating annually, they are 50% larger than the entire market cap of Bitcoin. 50%. And he said AI is deflationary and it's going to require a massive, massive influx of dollars to counterbalance it. He called it the best way to store capital. Now, look, I know he's talking about Bitcoin. I'm not pretending he's not and that he's magically somehow hinting at XRP in some way. But here's the thing. Every time a credible person makes that argument on a major financial TV channel, it moves everything for the entire asset class. Think about that. For the people who survived 2020, 2021, 2022, you get the picture. Holding this stuff while everyone else in their life looked at them like, this is the record starting to correct itself. And speaking of the record, well, why don't we look at the little Charlie McCharterston? What do we got here? This is a liquidation leverage heat map, okay? What this is telling you is your leverage shorts are piled in. When price moves into the zone, you're yellowish, boom, they get liquidated. What do you think the market makers are doing here? They're trying to make this like it's going to be a run up in the market. I'm telling you right now, they used the Clarity. Everyone thought magically the Clarity Act was going to get passed on July 4th. Folks, they're not working right now. They're on break. It wasn't going to get passed on July 4th. But what did you get? A pump on July 4th, right? Everyone remembers it. Crypto markets are going up. It's a fake pump. They're getting people to long. And then what they're going to do is run it up a little bit, and then they're going to wipe them all out. It's the dirtiest play in the game by the market makers. This is a fake pump, a fake out. They're trying to get your precious dollars. I don't even know why people long. You're out of your damn mind for doing longs anyways, when there's only $2 trillion in the market. Like, are you kidding me? $2 trillion in the market, and you're trying to take longs. And look at this, Germany, huge. Millions of Germans will soon be able to buy and sell crypto directly through their local banks. Per Bloomberg, not through some app that they had to go download and try to figure out and store all these crazy ass keys and put them on these metal plates and bury them in their backyards and coffee tins. No. Through their bank. The same place that they're paying their mortgage from. Now, for years, the argument against the space, what was it? Friction. It's too hard. It's too complicated. It's too risky. Go ask your parents. Go buy some crypto. Set up this account. Go get your little newspaper. I know you still get delivered by the paper boy. Hold it up with your ID and somehow take a picture. Guys, let's be honest. The crypto market's been moving sideways for a while now. A lot of people just sitting on their coins, waiting for that next big move. But while you're waiting, your crypto is just sitting in your wallet doing absolutely nothing. So I want to mention one of my long-term partners, FortisX. Instead of letting your assets sit idle, you can put your supported cryptocurrencies into liquidity pools and earn daily rewards while still keeping the flexibility of withdrawing whenever you want. And one of the reasons I keep working with them, they just keep delivering. The team's public. They completed their Cyberscope KYC. They passed independent security audits, and the platform, it's been building consistently for years. Their focus is long-term growth, transparency, and security rather than hype. In a market like this, it makes sense to make your assets work instead of letting them sit idle. Check out the link down below. And then you might get KYC'd and you can buy. Ain't gonna do that shit. Now they can just go to the banks over in Germany. That's going to come to the US. Look, I'll tell you right now, I talked to Morgan Stanley the other day, all right? I won't tell you why, but I talked to Morgan Stanley. And you know what they have? They got a full crypto division over there. They know about crypto. They know what's going on here. Yeah, I'm telling you, and I've seen this vision years ago. I said, is one day you'll be able to log into your banking account online. You know, right now you can see your investments in there. You can see your checking and savings account. You can see your business account, and you'll soon be able to see your crypto holdings as well, which gets us over to this. Remember, everyone was talking about that new stable coin, the new thing. What's it called? Open Standard, right? Everyone was talking about Open Standard here. Well, what's interesting about Open Standard is this clip. Renato Maratti. He says Open Standard could face significant antitrust scrutiny. He says he wouldn't be surprised if a party negatively impacted by the initiative ultimately brings an antitrust challenge. Interesting.
I think what's interesting about Open Standard from my vantage point is the antitrust implications of it. You know, I started my career many years ago, back before I had a lot of gray hair in my beard, representing Visa and MasterCard in battles related to whether or not there was an antitrust issue involving joint ventures of a lot of banks coming together to arguably create what was interchange, creating essentially what critics were calling a fixed price. Here, you know, you have a lot of names and a lot of big names in the industry coming together and making decisions about something that they want to use. While they have done what we did ultimately by when we took Visa public, they ultimately are creating a single entity here. I don't think that they're fully going to escape the antitrust issues that they're going to face. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are some, entities that are negatively impacted by this that decide that they want to bring an antitrust challenge.
Very interesting. Let's see how that all plays out. Which gets us over to this one. Seoul City Council. Her name is Kim Young, excuse me. She disclosed her financial holdings as required by your South Korean public official law. And guess what? She holds 16 types of crypto. Among them, 519,000 XRP. 519,000 XRP. Are you kidding me? And then her eldest son has another 3,336. Her total crypto holdings top 1.2 million. The highest among all disclosures over there. I think she knows what's coming. I mean, we talk about Korea a lot on this channel. Korea was the reason for your bull run in 2017. It was the reason for the bull run in 2020. Korea is the reason XRP over there is outperforming both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then right behind her, you had another Seoul Council member who had 419,000 plus additional altcoins. Come on now. Think about what we've lived through. They fought it. Everyone fought it, right? They tried to kill it. They tried to kill crypto a million times. They tried to sweep it under the rug, push it out of their lives. They wanted nothing to do with it. They tried to push the gold narrative. And then Bitcoin came out and Bitcoin was going to replace all the currency in the world. Well, how did that work out? Well, it didn't work out. That's the thing. They tried really hard, but it didn't do it. Now we are finding out government officials, different continents, central banks, regular banks, remittance companies. These people are holding, and they're holding the asset that you hold. Now, she got a nice bag, ain't gonna lie. 500,000 XRP. I wish we knew, though, when she bought it, right? But what's her DCAs? That was what I want to know. I mean, we know Evernorth holds a crap ton of XRP, and their DCA, they're underwater right now. Look, XRP is going to go back above all-time high. We all know that. Everyone just wants it now. Look, I wanted it 10 years ago. Here I am, never been at $4. I haven't lost hope. I know it's going to go back up there because you can't see the plumbing. It's invisible. You don't know what's going on underneath the ground, but we slowly start seeing things come to life, like the DTCC folks and Ripple being involved in there and David Schwartz telling you that this is probably a big deal. Like, come on now. Come on now. We just got to stick to course. Bear market's almost over. You almost became a bear market survivor. If this is your first, hey, round of applause. Congratulations for surviving your first bear market. You probably didn't even know we were in a bear market because you got these people on Twitter telling you it's not a bear market. Come on now. But you almost made it through. September, November, it comes to an end. I'm thinking it's probably going to be October again because they always like to do it around Rip's birthday. No joke. It's the honest truth. Go look it up. And then we can start going back up and pushing back up. I'll make a really crazy prediction. It's July 2026. I don't know why I had to look at my calendar to see that. I should know that was just the 4th of July. By the end of 2027, Bitcoin will be back above 100K. And then we got 2028, which is going to be even bullisher because we approach the halving and altcoins are going to take off. And the Clarity Act will be in place. And President Trump, before his way out, is going to make crypto he's going to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. Write that down. Hold me to it. It is coming. I'm telling you that right now. Hit that like, subscribe, get yourself on over to Rip Talks Money. I don't know why you wouldn't. I'll see all y'all.